Yeah, you may have noticed the bombs. In the other games, each character had their own unique bombs, which basically correspond to the player character's spell cards. And in this game, that's not the case. Everybody just has... Well, I mean, I've only shown one shot type, but you've seen Marisa has just this pretty generic circular bomb attack. It's the same for every shot type. They all look pretty much the same, behave pretty much the same. Do a pretty good amount of damage as long as you can get the circle on top of the boss or whatever enemy you're trying to bomb. And yeah, I did that. I thought I was gonna have to bomb because I was behaving stupidly while trying to dodge that stuff. Or not necessarily behaving stupidly, but not really paying much attention because I'm talking. And so yeah, we are back to full power. So basically, all those bombs we've used up to now are completely inconsequential, and we are still at completely full resources. Yeah, just bomb this. Completely full resources. And this is going to be a really, really dense spell. And you might be... yeah, I had dodged that, but I got scared and bombed anyway. You might be thinking why. Like, why would I find this easier than the stage 4 boss? And I think it might just be because this boss actually looks harder than the stage 4 boss, so I have absolutely no qualms about bombing everything in it. Whereas the stage 4 boss, I just get clipped where I think I've dodged something and haven't. And I shouldn't have necessarily bombed there, but I thought if I bombed I would take out that fairy and get its power, but it didn't happen, so hopefully I can still get back to full power. And it looks like I will, so it's fine, yeah. So let's place these, and we have finally reached somebody who actually is involved in the incident. This is Sanae. She is the shrine maiden of the new unruly god who has moved in at the top of the mountain and started causing problems. And she's telling us a little bit about that now. So it's a shrine that was that existed outside of Gensokyo and was losing faith and losing followers, something like that. And so they moved the shrine inside Gensokyo, on top of Yokai Mountain. And so basically they've become rivals to Reimu, which is more apparent, I guess, in Reimu's storyline, but you know, there you have it. I actually don't remember if the storyline is different for each shot type, or if it's just a Reimu story and a Marisa story. I should probably pay more attention to that type of stuff. But the boss's music has kicked in, so we are getting ready to start the boss fight. So yeah, lots of really dense, claustrophobic Danmaku in this fight. And she's telling us she has the power to create miracles, but like all Touhou games, the actual abilities of characters are kind of inconsequential. And this is kind of a tricky-ish non-spell. You kind of have to read ahead a lot and move a lot, and I almost got hit there because of crazy Marisa hitbox related stuff, and I'm horrible at this spell, so I'm just gonna bomb it. Yeah, this fight is basically just bomb through everything, is I think what made it so easy for me when I was first learning it. This spell is really, really hard on the hard difficulties, on like hard and lunatic, but not on normal. Yeah, it's one of the spells with a huge disparity, and I got hit anyway, even though it's not hard. But I tried to bomb and was a little too slow. But yeah, see, it's the ones that you don't just automatically bomb that get you. And you could just literally bomb everything if you wanted to. that. Yeah, I think somebody has actually proven that it's possible to bomb every single boss attack in this game, including the non-spells, so every spell card and every non-spell attack. Not necessarily the most efficient way to play the game, but it is possible with the amount of bombs that it gives you. And you can see I definitely could have bombed there if I had been a little quicker, and definitely had the resources too, so it's really not a big stretch at all to get through this far without dying at all. And in fact, dying at all really feels terrible compared to the other games that I would say. Excuse me. This game is by far the most reasonable to no death clear, and in fact I have no death cleared this game. This is the only one I've no death cleared on normal, and now that I have died, I've kind of, yeah, it's like once you die at all, even if it's on stage 5, it's just so disappointing. You just basically let up, and just bomb this. That fairy gives you back a lot of power, so it's not really an issue. And I placed those, okay. Yeah, so there really is a tendency in this game, whoa, I was not paying attention there, a tendency in this game to, once you die, just kind of give up, because it's so possible to just not die at all, and when you do die, it's usually avoidable because you probably have bombs. Actually, I tried to, I did this LP once before, and, whoops, I hope I didn't skip dialogue. I accidentally hit the wrong button there. So yeah, I actually started this LP once before, and I actually got to the game, but started getting hit at the end and just kind of gave up, and still cleared the game, but scrapped the recording because it was such a disaster. And I had actually gotten to the final boss without dying, and then got so disheartened because I'd come so close to one life clear that it just kind of snowballed downhill from there. So this is the goddess that was causing the ruckus that we heard about earlier, and her name is Kanako. She's got like a snake theme, but she's not a goddess of snakes. She's like a goddess of mountains or wind. I don't actually remember. It's like such a minor part of her actual character that I don't really remember what she's actually a goddess of. She did say something about being the mountain herself, even though this particular mountain existed before we got here. Okay, she's the avatar of mountains and lakes, according to her title. So she's kind of a difficult stage 6 boss. I really like her music, it's pretty nice. And when is this? How much dialogue is left? I'm not really sure. Shrine. Yeah, they're talking about basically the particulars of Shinto faith, and the whole gods and goddesses relying on faith and all that. First non-spell I used to think was impossible, just kind of requires some quick reading. First spell card is really easy, but for some reason it sometimes gives me trouble with this shot type, and I don't know why it would cause problems with this shot type in particular. But it never seems to happen when I play Reimu, but it seems to be going okay this time. Yeah, okay. This non-spell, easy if you're playing with Reimu's homing or with Marisa C, hard for everyone else. Because Reimu A and Marisa C don't have to turn around because of their either aimed or homing shots. Everyone else, I think, does. And that spell, it's actually easier on hard than it is on normal for some reason. I don't know why. This is really difficult spell card for me. And there we go, bombed it. Bombing it once is actually not really a bad outcome for me at all. And her final non-spell, which is a lot like Remelia's non-spell, which isn't that helpful because I haven't Let's Played Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. But it alternates between 3 phases, where she becomes invulnerable for a period between them. Or not between them, but while she's using each one, and then you have to damage her between them. Marisa C helps a lot here because, well, like always, her options stay kind of near the boss and deal damage. Okay, this spell card gives me a lot of trouble, which it shouldn't, but it does. And it's basically because I have trouble reading the hitboxes of those arrowheads, and I always think I'm safe when I'm not. Especially with Marisa, whose hitbox I'm not used to anyway, but it's going okay. Nope, not anymore. I bombed it. And her last spell, which is the most difficult of all the last spells, I think. At least up to like Subterranean Animism, which is as far as I've played in the series. Basically, this spell on its own balances out the fact that you can bomb virtually everything else in the game. Because like all final boss spells, it's invulnerable to bombs. You can't bomb through this. And it's just constant danger, so you can't really even use a bomb to... I mean, you can use a bomb to avoid getting hit, but then as soon as it wears off, you're right back in danger. So you cannot get through this unless you learn how to dodge it. And I captured it, alright. That kind of makes up for dying stupidly twice. So yeah, as you can see, I can do it now, but when I first played this game, that was a huge obstacle, and it took a long time to actually learn. So anyway, like I was saying, that basically it's almost impossible. Like, no matter how many resources you manage to store up by the time you get to the final boss, it's not going to be enough to get through that final spell unless you can actually learn how to dodge it at least a little bit. Yeah, it's a very difficult, it's a very dangerous spell, and it's doable once you learn how to do it, but it's much more essential that you learn how to dodge it than any of the other last spells. Basically, the others, you can at least bomb to clear yourself out some space and then get some damage in before they become too dangerous again. And Yuyuko's you actually can bomb to because her final spell is a survival card. So while the bombs don't damage it, they do take off time. And yeah, so for example, Kaguya's last spell is really only dangerous at certain parts. And it's on normal, it really only gets dangerous toward the very end. So you can just deal a lot of damage, bomb, and get to a relatively safe spot, and then deal some damage, and then bomb again. And really, that's how most of the final spells work, at least on normal. This one does not work that way. But anyway, I mean, it really feels like it wasn't a good run because I died twice, and once completely stupidly because I had basically given up, and once when I had plenty of bombs and could have, easily saved myself. But so I mean, even though it went pretty well, it still feels like a disaster just because I died. But anyway, no need to save the replay. I don't know if I'm going to use Marisa on the extra stage or not. I haven't actually played it in a while, but I remember not being able to do it at all with Marisa. Mostly because I would have to completely relearn the stage. I'm used to having Reimu's homing. So I might just go... Oh, here you can see how Marisa A's shot type works. It's like that. And when you focus, the options lock in place. Kind of like the shot type we used. So you can see that in action. So yeah, I might do the extra with Reimu A if I can't get used to it with Marisa, or I might try to go at it with Marisa. I don't know, we'll see. But I guess you'll find out when I upload that. So until next time. It's not really a complete sentence, but